How long do you think this will go on?
Well, until the powers to be decide that this struggle needs to end. But from our point, we're here every single day providing aid for the local population, 4 different sites at the same time, every day.
Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that it could grow?
I think so.
How soon?
That's something that will have to be decided, but we're really hoping. We're prepared, we're willing to deliver the aid, and like you've seen, a lot of the aid does go to waste in other groups. Our guys, our mission, we deliver the aid to the local population in their hands.
That's a gentleman by the name of Mo. He served as our interpreter on the ground yesterday. Getting the aid into the right hands in Gaza, huge challenge, growing concern. The Israelis have tried to cut Hamas out. It's been a very difficult process. The UN has been cut out of this process as well. Maybe there's a way to find cooperation again between the UN and the Israelis to bring more aid in. But for now, the White House is considering plans for the U.S. to take over that effort. Full coverage here on the ground and across Israel with the Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danon, joins us live in Jerusalem. But first, also here in Israel is the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, and I will begin with you, sir, and thank you for your time. I want to read a headline. We heard the soundbite a short time ago. This is what Axios says. Trump plans to take over Gaza aid effort, according to U.S. officials. Is that realistic? And if so, how?
Well, I think the President of the United States always has a very important role in something like this if he chooses to do it. The President has been telling us he wants food into the hands of hungry people, but he wants it in a way that it doesn't get into the hands of Hamas. That's exactly what we did when we stood up GHF. It's an American-based operation. It has the support and cooperation of the IDF, but it's not under their control. And the result has been pretty phenomenal. Over 106 million meals served at 4 feeding sites. The immediate plan is to scale up the number of sites up to 16 and begin to operate them as much as 24 hours a day to get more food to more people more efficiently. But it has worked, and what you just heard from the interview that you had was very significant, because it's not going into the hands of looters and thieves. It's going into the hands of the people who actually have come because they really do need food. That's what the president wants. This is a president, I think we've seen it. He makes a promise, he keeps it.
Yeah, Wall Street Journal editorial board. It reads this way: kill Jews, get your own state. Hamas leader says that new global recognition for Palestinian statehood is a reward for the October 7 massacre. This is after France and after the UK and then Canada said in September at the United Nations General Assembly they'll call for the recognition of a Palestinian state. I don't know where that is. I don't know where the borders are drawn for that. But that's what they're talking about, and that's putting pressure again on Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is now considering going in and controlling all of Gaza, yet again. It's been 20 years. Sir, is that how this war ends?
We don't know. But here's what I can tell you. When the Europeans say we want a Palestinian state, you had one for 20 years. It was called Gaza. It was a 100% Palestinian-controlled state, and we see how it turned out. You know what was interesting last week, Bill? While the Europeans were demanding that Israel make all the concessions and blaming Israel for the fact that there was a disaster going on in Gaza, which was nonsense, you had the Arab League, of all people, unanimously saying that Hamas should disarm and give all the hostages back immediately. They have it right. The Europeans have it wrong. Somebody ought to be understanding who the bad guys are here and who the good guys are. And the Europeans have clearly missed the movie.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And
thank you, Bill.
Good luck to you, and we'll be in contact throughout the week here. You bet. Thank you. More from Danon now.
Thanks.
Danon.
And Danny Danon, he's the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations, joins us now. And I want to play for you what was a very moving presentation by the brother of one of the Hamas hostages that is still there, and that Hamas released a video of earlier this week showing a starving individual. And that individual is this man's brother. Listen here.
What would you do if, God forbid, it was your son, brother, partner, father? We are here because we and the other hostage families cannot wait any longer. We must ensure that all hostages are being released immediately and unconditionally, we don't have more time. They don't have more time, and every minute counts.
Ambassador, could you explain what Israel can do if Hamas realizes that these hostages are basically its last lifeline, because Israel has been so instrumental and effective in getting rid of the top leadership of Hamas?
Well, before that, then, if you allow me, yesterday was a very emotional moment for me and for my team when we sat in the Security Council. You know, after weeks, we heard lies and incitement against Israel. For 2 hours, we reminded the world why we are in Gaza now. We are in Gaza because you have hostages like David Abiatar who are being starved to death. We have seen those videos, horrible videos. And I think Hamas should understand, we will not leave them behind. This war will not end with hostages in Gaza. We had a deal. We had a framework that the US, Qatar, and Egypt worked really hard to achieve some kind of a partial deal. We said yes. And at the last minute, Hamas rejected the deal. So today we will have to recalculate what we are going to do. How can we apply more pressure against Hamas in order to release the hostages? We are determined. We are willing to pay any price to bring all of them back home to their families.
President Trump was asked about that hostage video yesterday. Listen here.
Have you seen the Hamas-released video of Israeli hostage Avitar David starving and being forced to dig his own grave in a Hamas tunnel?
I have, yeah. I have. I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. And I hope a lot of people do get to see it, as bad as it is, because I think it's a horrible thing.
Mr. Ambassador, are you able to characterize the scope and scale of what you need from President Trump and his administration at this time?
Well, first, we are grateful for the moral support we receive from the US. You know, you compare it to what's coming from Europe, the hypocrisy, you know, we see moral clarity. That's exactly what we need. And we feel we have the support of the US. But it is our task to take care of Hamas, and we are determined to do that. It's not going to be easy. You know, then those guys don't want to have a compromise. You know, we offered them to go out of Gaza, to deport them, even though they shouldn't deserve it, but we were willing to compromise on the idea of deportation. And the answer we got is no. We want to stay in Gaza. We want to take control again and to attack Israel again. It will not happen. We will make sure Hamas will not stay part of the equation.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much. And I know yesterday was very emotional. It was for us as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there you have that perspective, Bill, as you get prepared to interview Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Yeah. You know, if you're going to do this, it's going to cost you billions of dollars. And that's something the Israeli government's going to have to accept, and also going to have to take in a lot of money from perhaps the United States and other Gulf nations who have contributed mightily to this cause already. The other thing you have to consider is what is Israeli reaction like within this country? There are those who are behind Benjamin Netanyahu full stop. And there are others where you can see the creases in this and the cracks in this coalition in this nation, because you're talking about a war that's been going on for 2 years this coming October. That's the debate that'll play out. We'll see when we get an answer from Jerusalem on that.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.